Are you going to be loading up your first gen Sequoia with a whole bunch of gear and taking your family out on adventures camping? Do you want to make sure you have adequate braking power in that full-bodied Toyota Sequoia if and when you need it? Today we're going to be doing one of the first major upgrades to our 2005 Toyota Sequoia, installing some Lexus GX460 brake calipers and rotors, as well as Crown Performance braided brake lines all the way around. Coming up on Drew and This Is Evergreen Overland. On this channel, we do gear reviews, showcase vehicle mods, and talk about ways overlanders can outfit themselves for adventure. It goes without saying, but the ability to stop is the most important function of any vehicle, especially when considering the additional weight uniquely sketchy terrain an overland vehicle can put you in. It's well known that the brakes in the first-gen Sequoia leave something to be desired, but a GX460 swap can definitely increase your performance. These brakes are really fresh, so the guy I bought them from definitely was not lying. He put brakes on this thing and then parked it. That's probably why I'm getting such decent braking. With the brake pads being newer in our Sequoia, I wasn't getting terrible emergency stopping power, but where I really felt it struggle was at lower speeds in lower gears where the torque just seemed higher. I just didn't feel like I had the adequate power to hold back that V8. With a little mounting plate clearancing, the larger brake calipers and rotors of the Lexus GX460 bolt right up, giving you greater stopping power. For a step-by-step brake job guidance, check out the above video on my 06 Tundra. Brakes, along with upgrading all of the stock rubber flexible brake lines that swell and degrade over time with rigid braided brake lines from Crown Performance will go a long way in improving stopping power on our 2005 Toyota Sequoia. Alright, out with the old. So you're going to get two sections that look like this. They've got a banjo bolt fitting on the end and a regular threaded fitting on the top here. They're about 20 inches long. Ones that look like this, both of them will go to the two front tires, one on each side. I don't know that this is directional. I believe it might be, but you'll just notice that this cants away from the brake caliper. You're going to get two of these sections, and they are about 10 inches long. They replace the back brake lines behind the rear tires. Pretty self-explanatory once you get in there where these go. Lastly, you're going to get two sections like this. These are going to go up above the axle, and they're going to go in between the axle hard brake lines and the hard brake lines that are coming off of the frame. This is the flexible one, so that when your axle flexes, these can flex with it. One of them has an additional washer clip right here. I'm not sure where that goes. I haven't gotten under the car and identified where this would make the most sense. I think it'll all make sense once I get under there. Other than that, they're identical. You're going to get these clips. These are little tension clips that go in existing little tension clip tabs where it basically will pin the brake lines to the proper location. And you're going to get 4 banjo bolts like this, along with 2 copper crush washers per banjo bolt. So you're going to have to look up and confirm this for yourself. Banjo bolt copper washer in there, other copper washer, and then that will go into the caliper. I think I'm torquing mine to 21 foot-pounds. Look that up for yourself for sure. The Crown Performance brake lines are not listed on their website, but if you call, they will get you sorted and help you put together a complete kit fine-tuned for the amount of lift you'll have on your vehicle. Now, you do need to have a machine shop shave up 5/32 of the brake caliper mounting surface for the upgrade to work properly. I ordered my Power Stop brake calipers and had them shipped directly to a shop I found through a Facebook group I follow. There's a link to Smolla Off-Road and their Facebook page below to reach out. He machines them and has them shipped out ready to install. Alright, so the crown goes into that hard line there. You replace that clip. This is the new brake line. Comes down here, goes around. You replace that clip from stock. Goes down, and behind. I put a little bit of grease on the brake line so that it can move freely through the rubber grommet, and I always mark my bolts with a white paint pen to make sure it's not backing out down the road. Alright. Nothing like being under your vehicle in the middle of the night when everybody's asleep. These are the 2 soft lines that get replaced from the subframe cross beam here down to your axle. Right there, through here, to here, and right there, down here, to here. Like I said, I'm sure I'll figure out which one. It looks like it's that one, actually, that takes that extra washer, would be my guess. We're gonna get in here and do this. We're approaching midnight, but that's just the reality of full-time job and YouTube on the side. While I did need a jack and jack stands to change out the front rotor and caliper, you don't necessarily need it lifted in the air to swap out your braided brake lines, but it did help having the extra clearance. I had the rig suspended on jack stands mostly for clearance for filming, but also because the New Year's resolution doesn't kick in for another month.
I'll list all the tools I use in this job below, but one thing that did come in handy is this self-adjusting double-sided wrench from Wera that I've been using. I used a 10mm crow's foot to break all the lines free, but having the ratcheting function of a boxed end wrench in the form factor of an open end wrench made the job just go smoother. I'm trialing out this tool for my minimalist overland toolkit I'm building for the Sequoia. Take a little getting used to, but pretty cool wrench if you ask me. It was definitely handy to have a little sledgehammer to tap a couple of these clips into place. It was also nice to have kind of a decent sized breaker bar just to give a little bit of leverage when needed on popping those clips out. Doing anything on brakes, I always tend to get one side completely done, leaving the other side intact so that I can reference the other side when I inevitably have a question of how something routed or was placed or whatnot. So I did that on this side, trying to figure out where the soft line was routed, whether it was inside or outside of the hard line little piece that's still in there. I routed mine towards the inside. After all the lines are installed, you get to my least favorite task whenever messing with your braking system, the bleeding of the lines. I'm trialing out this AGM brake pressure bleeder on this job, and we'll put out a separate video showing the process and results in the near future.
All right, well, mission successful on the Sequoia brake upgrade. We got the Lexus GX460 brake calipers and rotors installed in the front, and we got the Crown Performance braided brake lines installed up front, as well as the 4 locations in the rear. As I said before, the brakes on this thing are pretty fresh from when I bought it, but the brake upgrade that we did today will go a long way once we start increasing the gross vehicle weight of this thing and bolting on all the accessories that we have in store. The Sequoia is stopping great. It comes to a stop smoother, and it stops when it needs to faster. Make sure you check out the video in the near future that's going to go over kind of the ins and outs of that AGM pressure brake bleeder. We used it on this brake upgrade. You'll have to find out in that video how it operated and how it all worked overall. I'll just say that. And also email me at our website, drew@evergreenoverland.com, if you want to be notified of the additions I have coming for our community that we're building out here. I've got some cool stuff in the works, and I'm looking forward to bringing you guys a new offering here in the near future. And remember, if you have a first generation Toyota Tundra or Sequoia, give Crown Performance a call. Let them know I sent you. They will fine tune the order you need to place for your braided brake lines depending on the amount of lift that you're going to go with. They'll walk you through that whole process. They're great over there. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.